today's guest, Cameron Lavi-Jones.
From King Youngblood.
Some may know him from King Youngblood. We know him as a pretty badass player ourselves. So without further ado, we're going to let him take the stage, show us a little bit of what he's working on right now.
Hi, friends. Hello. It's good to see everybody. I'm really happy to be here, and you guys are beautiful. I'm gonna play. Is it cool if I play like a couple of tunes or something before we get started here? Is that okay? So we have something coming out on May 29th, King Youngblood and I, and I can't say verbatim what it is, but I can play it and let you try to guess what it is. So I'm just gonna play it, and you can find out. Walk through me at a pace so strong. My body's here and my mind is gone. My 2020 wisdom is lost. Read nothing from you, 'cause you can't seem to talk, but you see me right through me, like I'm not there. I'm opaque, but you see me right through me, like I'm not there. I'm opaque, I'm opaque, I'm opaque, I'm opaque. Maybe it could be all in my head, and my logic is wrong, and my morals are dead. I give but don't receive my bread. I baked it myself with sugar of lead, but you see me right through me, like I'm not there. I'm opaque, but you see me right through me, like I'm not there. I'm opaque, I'm opaque, I'm opaque, I'm opaque. But you see me right through me, like I'm not there. I'm opaque, but you see me right through me, like I'm not there. I'm opaque, but you see me right through me, like I'm not there. I'm opaque, but you see me right through me. 'Cause I'm opaque, I'm opaque, I'm opaque, I'm opaque. Feedy. All right, cool. Thanks, Blip. All right, speaking of which, Phil, do you want to play this next one with me? So for those of you guys that don't know at home, hi, I'm Cameron Lavi-Jones. I'm from King Youngblood. But for our first record, and really what pushed us to title our band and that record, was our debut album that we did with Phil. So Phil and I actually go way, way back. Phil and I are very, very good friends, and we worked on a lot of different projects together. But Phil, do you want to play King Youngblood? I feel like that would be a good, like, hello, world.
Let's do it.
Cool.
I like it.
Lord, King Young Thanks, Phil.
That was fun.
Was fun.
That was fun. Thanks for coming through, man.
Yeah, I've never performed with a mask on before, so it was very
It's weird.
interesting. Not just to balance like singing and playing, but also to be like, oh, need to breathe, need to be safe. Breathe
It's weird.
Safe, go.
I like tried and then I ended up ditching mine, and I'll probably try again. But it's.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
See. But I mean, did you have another song?
I'm
to do
good.
for
I
us?
mean, I can, but I'm good.
I think Jacob should come back here and we should talk.
I'm down
for
to
a minute.
yeah. Let's hang out, y'all.
Yeah. So, tell.
I missed you, Phil.
I missed you too.
missed
It's been
you,
really
dude.
nice. It's
so-
been really nice to be here. You were here a little earlier today, and it's just been nice to feel like, oh, making music with great people and like kind of trying to get back to normal.
Oh yeah,
and
that
do
normal good type
fun
beat.
stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
But today was also my first day working with you, dude.
Yeah, man.
Rock and roll
Man,
McDonald's.
I can't believe that.
It's
Yeah,
sick,
because,
man.
You know, sometimes you just get the spark right away, and
Mm-hmm.
shoot, how many beats did we make? 6?
6, 7. We was killing today.
It's all right.
That's
Rock and
awesome.
roll,
No,
man.
we
It's
have
fun.
We have one with Nobi that I'm like,
Yeah, that's dangerous, man.
crazy about
Yeah.
that one.
Shout out to Nobi, man.
I heard some good stuff.
yeah. Shout out to Music in the Moment, which is really what we're about
Mhm.
with Back of House. It's really about just playership and just living with mistakes or figuring a way to just move through them because you have no other option
Yeah.
most of the time, which is also known as improvisation.
Art
for
is
most.
in constraints and creativity.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah. So, what a wonderful rendition of King Youngblood.
Thank you, man.
That might be one of my favorite ones, actually.
Thank
I mean,
you.
I don't think I've heard one with Phil like really.
Yeah.
We've never really done that. That was
We
the
did.
first.
We did one show at the Tractor where
that's
you
true.
filled
That
in
was
for
awesome.
Corey.
Yeah.
But then when we did our album release party,
But that was full band still.
yeah, that was when we did our album release party. We did over the Vera Project because we always try to make sure everything we do is really intersectional.
Yes.
So we did it at the Vera Project to make sure that it's like anybody and everybody could pull up. And we put a string section together, and I had Phil lead it. It was awesome. It was
That
super
turned
cool.
out great.
It was tight, man. It was like a lot of people's first time seeing all of those different worlds come together, and I think that's just like it's always a beautiful thing to be able to do. You know?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about intersectional.
Intersectionality.
Intersectionality.
Mhm.
Do you mind breaking that down a little
Yeah,
bit?
no,
I'm familiar
totally.
with it, but I like
No,
that.
of course.
I love that phrase a
I'm
lot.
really grateful that you asked. That education is always vital. So intersectionality is the concept that like if you're within a marginalized group or something like that, that usually it makes more sense to work with a different marginalized group, regardless if you guys have the exact same issues. So like, especially for me because I'm mixed, my mom's Romani Israeli and my dad's black. Growing up with intersectionality in mind was always something that was just a normal thing.
Yes.
Of course, we didn't have like a specific term for it until I got to college and I got a chance to have the privilege to learn about it. But like the whole rationale is like, yo, if you're going through something and I'm going through something, we should work together on those somethings because it's more than likely that like people that are suffering from whatever I'm going from are also probably going through what you're going through too.
Yes.
So it's like, you know, a great example is like black trans women not only have the issues that are related to like black people, but they also have the issues that are related to patriarchy and then also like transphobia. So it's like even if you don't belong to all of these different subcategory groups, it makes everybody's life better if everybody's working together towards a common goal. That's the basis of intersectionality.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's cool because it applies to a lot of different principles too, like especially in terms of the artistic realm. Because, I mean, we're doing it right now. Like, I work with Phil on a rock project, in this studio that brought me to here working with you on some hip hop stuff.
Yep.
That's now bringing us to all you beautiful people back at home, nice and safe. You know?
What I like about
Absolutely.
intersectionality is that it doesn't draw a circle that draws others out. It's
Yeah.
actually very inclusive.
The whole
and
point
so
is to include.
it's not about being this other. It's about all of us.
Well, it's also used a lot largely as a tool for education and spreading the message of oppression or of people being marginalized, especially groups of people.
And that's always been a really big thing that we've tried to do in King Youngblood in particular, is just kind of, walk through highlighting people's stories, even if, they're maybe not specific people in the band, but like people like surrounding us, like people part of our team, people that, are our fans and stuff like that. It's always been key to make sure that we're pushing for something better than what's right now for everybody, not just for particular groups. And you can do that by just like pushing the agendas forward, man. Get that positivity out there. Know what I'm saying? Not that I mean, but yeah, it's
The
fun.
conversation's an important piece.
Definitely, and it's also cool because you can have those conversations musically too. You need a hand? I got you.
Ooh.
That's cool. I got the stand.
This guy got the epic stand.
That stand is dope, man. Have you seen those stands that are like guitar stands? I know somebody out there knows what I'm talking
Guitar
about.
stands.
But it's a stand that just holds your guitar up by itself, and you can like walk in behind. Yeah, exactly that. What's it called? Gracie stand. I need to get one of those and just have like every single different tuning in there. So like an open G or like a dad or something. I feel like that's the next
That's the
step.
most incredible
What
thing.
I'm
I've
going to
ever
do
heard.
is I'm going to have every instrument that I would ever need on cables retracted into the ceiling.
Oh,
so
you're
then
going
you
for like
just
a
push
real
a
theater
button
type
and then
vibe.
whatever instrument you want just comes down.
I like that.
And then you just play it.
That's
and then-
very
and then you just
ergonomic.
press a button in it. You don't need guitar straps or anything. You just play it.
just cable
The ceiling is your guitar strap.
Phil, I swear to God, is a connoisseur and a visionary.
He's already thinking about some jets.
Exactly. Like man
This-
is on a different echelon at all times.
This man was seriously talking about installing a trapdoor the other day.
Yesterday we had the trap.
Where am I standing, bro?
Yeah.
You're
we-
literally
we-
standing on
If
the
we had a
location
trap door,
of
and
our future trapdoor.
we already have the smoke machine, so we could just turn on the smoke machine,
And you never
and it's
see it.
presto changeo trap door. You could just disappear and
Presto.
go to your exit.
I
You know,
feel like, can this trap door double as like one of those like pop-up riser hydraulic
Absolutely.
stage things? You know
That's
what
what
I'm
we're
talking
going
Yeah,
about?
for.
I've always
absolutely.
wanted to do that from
It's like a
stage.
pedestal. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
But, like, with the-
Trapdoor pedestal, so it's on hydraulics.
That'd be
Absolutely.
that's a
And-
band name.
I'll call my
And
guy. I'll
we're
call my
gonna
hydraulics
We're
guy.
gonna have trap crows,
Trap
sound
crows.
effects that'll caw when you
That
flies
is-
out of the floor.
That's terrifying and awesome at the same time.
That's cutting edge
How
and
did
startling.
you guys meet each other, by the way? I'm very curious about that. I'm sure you've told this story 1,000
I sta-
times, but
I started to tell you, but then we got sidetracked and just spit out a bunch of beats.
Rock and
but,
roll.
Yeah, so I met Phil through Scott McKinley playing with Michael Douglas, who's
Winslow.
Winslow. Oh my goodness.
shout out Winslow.
Not Michael Douglas, the victim of country
Shout out
movies.
KZ. KZ was
Michael
also at that
Winslow.
party.
Yeah.
Yep. It was a
But-
birthday party.
Yeah, it's a birthday party. It was at Scott's new visual facility up north. And man, it was just such a crazy night.
It was great.
Like, Michael Winslow is a human, any instrument that you want him to be.
He's incredible.
I went up there.
He just touches it and gets it.
He's like, oh, you brought a saxophone? I'm a saxophone. And he would just do a saxophone solo with his mouth. And
Off
you're
top.
like, why'd I even bring my...
Yeah.
It's like
He-
ridiculous.
Scott brought me up there to get embarrassed by him on
Take that,
saxophone.
Berkeley.
No, I'm kidding.
And it's funny 'cause
It's
he's-
so cool
He's
because
really shy off stage, too. So that's kind of
Super?
like a funny thing. Yeah.
So he's got like a little bit of a split kind of vibe going.
Yeah.
Where as soon as he gets the spotlight, he's
oh,
like,
yeah.
"Hey,
Yeah, he
we're
comes out.
rocking."
Yeah.
But I'm
he
a-
does.
he's not even like braggadocious. He just gets up there and then next thing you know, he's doing like Purple Rain. And it sounds exactly like
Yeah.
Purple Rain, and you're looking around for the band, and it's like this little 4-track looper.
And it's just
And
all him.
58, just him, and he's like,
I wanna meet him.
I want, and you're just like, where am I? And
so both of you guys were at this party, or
yeah, we were at this party I was
Yeah.
playing, and then I met Phil, and we hit it off, and I was talking
we
to
have
him
a
about.
ton of mutual friends, so that
Yeah.
was instantly like,
I mean,
we
everybody
know-
in this community
We know
does.
so many people in common, so it was like easy to hit it off.
And
Easy.
so like I was talking about Nobi, and I was really looking for kind of some new spaces and new sounds. Nobi and I were wrapping up his first album, which we won't name quite yet, but
Got him.
so we were looking for a new sound and a new direction. Phil, I looked him up and I was like, I think I like double took his profile because I was like, wait, he's played with who?
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah, it's everywhere.
all right, let me go see what this guy's about, because it wasn't just like his background.
No,
it
this
was
man
more
is
like,
an enigma.
well, when we met, we really hit it off, and then like I was already kind of like, this guy's pretty cool, and then I look over and he's already snatched the mic out of somebody's hand at that point in time and is singing at the top of his lungs. And I'm like, all right, I like this guy.
Phil, were you the
He's
type
all
of
right.
guy that at parties you was stealing the aux cord?
No.
No?
But what I would definitely advocate for the people that I knew had the good playlists, though.
Oh,
I would
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try to make sure they have the aux
He's a
cord.
playmaker.
That's high
But
key.
if no one's using the mic, I'll pick it up.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
about
He's a
Phil.
guy. He's a guy when the guy sets the mic down and nobody's listening, he'll go and bark some shit, and you'll be like, "What did I just hear?" Like I thought we were done, and Phil's like, "No, we're not
The
done."
thing that I found the most interesting about Phil is just like when we started mixing that first album, King Youngblood, it was like he's constantly full of ideas. There's no mute button.
No.
There's no like slowing
Filter.
down. It's just like constant wave of creative energy, and it's so infectious, man. I'm truly in awe. You beautiful animal.
Damn, I feel like I'm slowing down, but that's what coffee's
You have
for.
a weird way of showing it. Yeah. Did you say that's what coffee's for?
Yeah. We do have an espresso machine here, thanks
Brought
to
to you
Jacob.
by the espresso machine.
Yep.
Thank you, espresso machine.
Pretty nice.
That's fine. No, that's good.
So what have you been working on through quarantine?
Well, I've been doing a lot of stuff, working different like hip hop sessions, which has been really great. Based off of a bunch of friends I made over at the Diamond Dancing Seattle session. Shout out to Chase Fade.
Shout out
Nice.
Chase Fade.
And then aside from that, we've been working on this new thing that we're releasing on May 29th, which is really sick, and trying to figure out different ways about how to make it happen while still making sure we're doing all the proper social distancing and making sure everybody's safe. It's been interesting, but like I said, it's not art unless it has constraints. So, May 29th, look for something. I'm not finna tell you what it is, but it's finna be something.
May 29th, guys.
So if you're following King Youngblood on, say, Instagram or Facebook or
LinkedIn.
Twitter, LinkedIn, that's very professional of
Thank you. I have
How about
my-
MySpace? Did you guys get a MySpace?
We never did. Justin Timberlake never returned my calls.
Sometime on some episode, I would love to get
Huh?
in depth with you guys about how you feel about Bandcamp, but we don't have to get into that today.
Bandcamp. I haven't even properly explored Bandcamp.
Well, that's kind of the thing, and then all these people are like, "Oh, the
Yeah.
Bandcamp thing," and I'm like, "I don't even do Bandcamp."
I mean,
at
I
all."
feel like it's a way better alternative than a lot of
SoundCloud?
other things out there, but because it's not as mainstream, it makes it difficult to approach. But like business jargon, yada yada yada.
Yeah. Well, what about SoundCloud?
SoundCloud has always been tight. SoundCloud has been breaking people outside of their bedrooms since like what 2002, something like that.
Yeah.
But is that like the thing? Like,
we're
is that
going
what
into-
where we should be trying to do is like we should try to be
Phil
SoundCloud
is
famous?
getting political. I like this.
I'm just I'm curious to know what you, not just you, Cam, but
Mm-hmm.
also Jacob and anyone else. Like, is that like what's the goal of like if you're gonna be successful as an artist? Like, do you want to be like well known on YouTube or like Bandcamp or SoundCloud or a little of both or all or like what is the not how do you do it, but like what would make you feel like, oh, I've arrived or like I've achieved some
you want to take a
aspect
step
of
first? Or do you want me to?
my goal.
I really want to hear your answer.
All right. Well, okay. So I think what your question, Phil, ultimately comes down to is how are different artists defining success? And
Took
I
my
think
answer.
that is highly contextual. I'm not going to, okay, whenever I am on interviews or like panels and stuff like this and being asked questions, I always try to make sure I'm giving concrete answers, not just like, everybody's going to their own mountaintop and all that. I don't want to do any of that. But what I will say is that different genres and different musical fields have different constraints and different contexts around them that you have to incorporate when you're thinking about how to succeed. Mm-hmm. So like a great example is like, for me being in the rock world, I can't tour the same way that like a solo hip hop act would, because my team has to be larger. The production around it is different, as well as like the creative market behind it is different. Because of the genre and because of the things around it, I have to approach things differently. The same way that like somebody in more of a hip hop realm, or even somebody in a pop or like country realm, has different constraints at the same rate. Mm-hmm. So obviously, you always want to get as many streams on whatever platforms as you can. But, for me, why Corona sucks, no shout out to Corona. A big part of our selling point and like what gets people so excited about us is like we're like three unapologetic brown dudes doing rock where we go anywhere live and just destroy things. It's the whole point of like, what's the things that you want to be known for, not what's going to make you successful. Because those things aren't just interrelated, they're directly impacting each other, and they're specific to whatever your genre is. You got to play off your strengths a little bit. Mm-hmm. So that's what I would say.
Strengths and genre, both.
Exactly, because it's like, and it's like it paints a great way to understand like where you can pick up in different areas. Like I remember before I started doing a lot more like hip hop projects, both supporting people, but also doing more stuff with like King Youngblood type beats, like the hip hop realm. It was an act of just constantly learning, learning different techniques and different ways, and not only how to approach that in my art, but also in my business too. Yeah. And it's also made it so it's like I get to meet, the cool kids like Jake and like Nobi and like everybody from the Seattle sessions and all of that. So it's and everywhere where you get a chance to learn where you're falling flat, it gives you an opportunity to expand on that even more, to make that weak link a little bit stronger. And now, look at me, we're doing, I don't know, what's up, Gucci?
Something cool. I mean, I love this answer, Cameron. Thanks for your articulate
Thanks for asking, you big brain boy.
I love that your answer basically boils down to that your measure of, like, whether you're, like, really feeling like it's working and worth it is, is that live show setting. And so here we are doing as close as we can to a live show thing. Yeah. And you're absolutely right. It's like so easy to get caught up on the numbers I had an artist where they'd release one song and it would get this kind of SoundCloud numbers, and then the next one wouldn't, and then they would like throw their whole career upside down just because their numbers aren't.
It can be really discouraging.
It can be, but it's not just about the numbers. It's about your long-term goals. Yeah. And not everything is going to hit at the right time. And sometimes there's a show playing across town and you play an empty room just because somebody else like in your genre is just.
But again, that's a learning point to figure out, okay, maybe don't do that in the future.
Maybe don't play against your.
Jake, what is your perspective on this question though? Because you're in like not only just a different genre realm, at least predominantly, but you're also more on like the support side versus the like, I am the front person artist type of thing. I'm curious about what your perspective there is.
I think now we're kind of seeing, and this has kind of been my big bullet point of what I talk to people about, especially lately, is we're really seeing the emergence of a new form of artist that it really does require more vastness to your craft than just relying on one thing. Because even if you make a hit song, those checks only come for so long. And after a lot of these people, you'd be foolish not to take your money off of your first hit and invest it in yourself, which is where a lot of people lose it from there. Yeah. I think it's relative, though. I think for me personally, and the focus that I've really had is what's the truest message that I can put on on Flax? What is the most truest cause that I can stand and put my time and my talents behind? And that for me has been like a rewarding process, but it is a process.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people aren't ready to embrace, is it doesn't get easier as you go along. It gets harder,
Yeah.
and you don't make it.
Dude.
There's no, like, you don't get like a balloon
There's
drop
no
from the
arrival.
ceiling when you hit 1 million
But
streams.
that's also why it's so
But-
important to define success for yourself.
Yeah.
So success for me is being in a space that I can build a platform for the future off of, being surrounded by people who are helping me adapt and helping my team, like, and the artists around me adapt to this time, and being a leader at the forefront who's trying to constantly push myself and those around me
Yeah.
towards what it looks like. Because, and for us, we're like, shoot, we might not even be making records the same way ever again. Because I can't even think about making a record without the visual side now. And without how it's going to translate. And without that 3D aspect. And I'm already thinking about beyond our typical what you see on a cell phone kind of visual experience. Like, it's really about, we're at such a level playing field. Nobody's allowed more than 50 people in a room at the end of the year, I bet. Or even at the end of the summer, let's say, by best case scenario. This is such a unique time. Even people who have more money than they know what to do with cannot have more people
Yeah.
in this room. It's a,
Yeah.
like, and that means innovation is what's going to take the standard, but that has always been the measure of whether I'm doing good as an artist or not. Not necessarily the money part. Because
Yep.
you make time for it if you really love it.
Yep.
You know, and you pay your bills and you make time for it if you really love it, you know?
Yay.
So
Yeah.
that's my
the
little
right
rant. I
answer.
mean,
That's the right answer.
Yeah.
I tell people there is no arrival. It's a constant. You ask anybody who's had a hit, they're scrambling to try to have their next hit. They don't feel arrived at all.
absolutely has to be that way.
You know.
Yeah.
But I also think it's interesting that it's like, as people learn that kind of difficult lesson within their artistry, you see them kind of shift focus in a lot of ways too. Like for us, you know, I've been doing stuff like seriously with music for since I was 12, and I'm 21 now. So it's been an ongoing process of not just getting good at this thing, but also trying to learn other instruments so I can speak more languages, about, you know, learning how to run my own sessions in Pro Tools and
visuals.
exactly,
Too.
and how to like create visuals and like how to compose music videos and
Yep.
how to write scripts. And I think our biggest endeavor that we've put together since then was like putting our nonprofit Hold Your Crown together, you know, because it's all about fighting back against the stigmas of youth mental illness. And we're a 501c3 now, like it's all legit. You get tax write-offs for it.
Wonderful.
And it's
Link in the description on this video.
shout out, thank you, appreciate that. But it's been, I only bring it up as more of a means to kind of spotlight that it's like, in terms of the artistic world in general, and you know, we can go hyper specific to music, but there's so many different overlaps, which provides the opportunity for so many different goals, you know? So if you're looking for success, you might want to redefine it, because there's a lot of different ways to find it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But rock and roll, Phil, look at you with the big brainery. Beautiful man.
I asked you a trick question because I knew
Did you?
you guys would both give me the good answer.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
He's like,
It's
I
a
was,
trap.
I don't want
What
to talk
does
for 5
success
minutes.
mean to you? And you're like, actually, there is no. And I'm like, yes.
Yes, he's
We have-
learning.
He fell into my trap. Love
Yes.
it.
That's dope.
Beautiful.
Y'all want to jam?
Yeah,
Yes.
let's jam. Let's make some music.
What you got?
Man.
What kind of key do you want to play in?
Man, I just want to hear a drum beat. No?
Okay.
Wow, I don't
Yeah,
know nothing.
let's start with some drums.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, you gonna make me have to use my brain today.
Yeah, I am. This is Jacob Hillard with Philip Peterson, Cameron Lavi-Jones, and from King Youngblood, and this is episode 6 of Back of House. Thank you guys for joining us for this awesome session. Holy cow,
Thanks for
I can't
having
believe
That
it.
was a blast.
You're
Thank you.
beautiful.
So fun.
I love you. Shout
Yeah.
out to house music. I've never done some crazy guitar shredding over that before, and I guess now I got to try it forever.
Now you.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
that
now,
turned out.
Now you're in the band.
I
so
love
yeah.
you.
what we were talking about is that everyone who's involved with this show, and no matter what their role is in the band. Like we're all the band.
So we're just Ringo's all
So now you're in the band.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Great.
Everyone's in the band.
Do I have to play guitar? I can't be pulling up on like.
Well, you can do some other thing next time.
You can
Like I
play
can-
guitar and kazoo
now.
for now.
We could both play cello.
That's been
Or
an
I'll play
episode. I've been
Or you could play
Cameraman
cello.
Joe.
I'll play bass.
I'll see you guys later.
Okay.
Thank you. I will have my kazoo in the mail.
Yes. We did it.
Back of house.